Welcome back to another episode of On a Mission. I'm your host, Dr. Wendy Norfleet with Norfleet Integrated Solutions. And it's my pleasure to have with me today Ritesh Mohan with Bank of America. Welcome, Ritesh.
Hi, Wendy.
So, tell me a little bit about you. I know we were talking a little bit about your background with Bank of America, but I know you're with Bank of America, but tell me a little bit about how you've kind of evolved with Bank of America.
Yeah, so I started in India working as a contractor for Bank of America. I used to develop IVR applications.
Okay.
And then I moved over to US and I started with fraud detection. And since then I've been working in fraud detection.
Okay.
And all kinds of fraud detection, online banking, merchant services, different avenues.
Okay. You like it, obviously. You've been working. So tell me, and obviously you don't have to use, I don't know if you can or not, but can you tell us about something like, a couple of interesting stories?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there have been a lot of stories. Over the years, one of the interesting stories is that my wife and I used to work both as contractors for Bank of America, and we met there.
They say, romance in the workplace. Okay.
But yeah, and so there have been a lot of work-related challenges. I was there with Bank of America when the 2008 to 10 slowdown happened.
Oh, that was major. I remember that one.
So the onus on fraud detection teams is much more when there is a slowdown, because any sort of negative feedback in the market, or there has been a cyber attack, or some accounts have been compromised, causes a lot to the slowdown then.
Okay. It also, everyone is probably, the slowdown, everybody's looking and paying attention probably more too, right?
Yeah, the market trends change dynamically when there is such a news.
Okay. Wow. So I'm sure, do you also, as a fraud protection, work with some of your clients when they have impact, especially like your major clients? Do you work to help them, especially when their money's there? You kind of...
So yeah, we are the ones working behind the scenes.
Right.
So we create applications that keep a
detect.
watch on your transactions, that keep a watch on the hackers, any hacking activity, any account takeovers. So our applications do that. Any text that you get sometimes when your credit card transaction doesn't go through, that's our application.
Or if it's larger than what you usually do, we've gotten some of those. Okay, are you trying to spend $1,000? Like, yeah.
So yeah, and the banking industry is evolving a lot from traditional banking to modern banking now.
Right.
And things are looking good for the future. So we have to adapt a lot to the changing trends in fraud detection. A lot of transactions are digital. A lot of, having said that, a lot of avenues have not yet adopted to digital. Like when you go to a restaurant today, you swipe your card in a POS machine, but you don't add your tip as a digital entry.
Correct. Yeah.
So at many locations, you still have to add your tip as your manual entry. So these things still have to change. There are a lot of
And have you noticed that it seems like for the fast food restaurants have adapted to that with the electronic tips much faster because they may not get a tip, but the fine dining, they usually still bring it in because they want you to say how good the service was and tip even more, right?
Yeah, so these things are coming in, and then there are new players coming in. For so long we had traditional banks and financial services, and now we have Apple and Google Play.
Right? And so and those people some of them have a lot more money behind them, and they've been in that space a lot longer.
Yeah. A lot of players are trying to disrupt the banking market too. So,
yeah. Wow. Well, I hope that doesn't happen. My sister works at Bank of America, so okay. I really want her to enjoy her time there.
No, a lot of
time.
Traditional banks are adapting, changing.
Right. But if they don't change, then they're going to be left behind. So they really have to change and keep up.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, it sounds fascinating what you do. I'm a tech a geek, so I did a lot of technology, a lot of coding in the auto industry when I first started. So team and I, we created a lot of things that are in use now, like anti-like brake software and some other stuff. So
That's really nice.
Yes, I was on a team that kind of worked with that. So I was like, so yeah. So I appreciate everything that you do, and I am so glad. And so what, as people who, we rely on financial institution, any advice as far as keeping safe, since that's the department you work in?
Oh yeah, I would say use the modern methods more. Use Apple Pay, Google Pay, all these methods more. There's more security behind the scene than your normal plastic card, which can be skimmed.
Right. Yeah. And also use the tap.
Yeah.
Stop scanning. Use the tap, right?
Yeah.
That's more secure.
Yeah.
Okay, I tell people all the time, and then of course, depending on the age, they say, "Oh, it's not. It needs to go through the machine." I said, "No, it's much more secure if you tap."
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Ritesh. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And please, 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 if you have questions about what your institution is doing to protect your money, you can always reach out to your institution. And I thank Bank of America for all that they do. Please join us next time on Buzz TV.